What up? We're back. I'm Preston.
I'm Brandon.
Now start with the menu for the week. Today's lunch is cheese pizza, fruit and veggie bar with a surprise. Mondays is breakfast, the breakfast pizza. Monday's lunch is a hot ham and cheese sandwich, scalloped potatoes, fruit and veggie bar with Tuesday's breakfast being omelet, Tuesday's lunch being taco soup, Fritos, crackers, fruit and veggie bar, and Wednesday's breakfast being Bosco sticks. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Call or text 988 or chat to 988, lifeline.org, 988 suicide and crisis lifeline. Bobcat Academy news/meetings Friday, March 3rd today. There's a senior motto committee in Mr. Shutt's room. Monday, March 6th, high school book club with Mrs. Whiting in her room. And Tuesday, March 7th, FBLA seniors with Mrs. Sukup in her room.
Good job to all the middle school Skills USA members that competed at Grand Island. Congratulations to the following medal winners. First place in team engineering, Jalen Shaver, Cassie Livingston, and Sierra Thompson. Second place in jobs skills demonstration, Taylor Nielsen. Third place mousetrap vehicle distance to Luke Kester. Juniors and senior parents post-prom meetings will be Monday, March 6th at 7 o'clock in the lunchroom. Seniors, please pay $20 in the office to Carol to pick up your cap and gown for graduation. Anyone interested in playing golf this year should sign up in the office. No experience needed. The first meeting is going to be Monday, March 6th after school in the auxiliary gym for all grades 7 through 12. If you need gloves, Coach Tabbert will help you find some.
Hey, Bobcat fans, our last Bobcat apparel order, I'm pretty sure that's going to be due March 15th. There are a lot of great items, so check it out. You can order it online, and all orders will be shipped to the school. There is a link in the announcements for that website. Youth ages 4 through 19, there are informational sheets in the office regarding AYSO soccer to be held this spring. If you're interested, stop in and grab one. Dusty Ruffle Tuxedos is no longer doing tuxedo rentals. And the Junior High Book Club will have a meeting on Tuesday, March 6th, over lunch.
A friendly reminder for any after-school events, sporting events, etc. Follow your Summer on the Bobcat Spectre responsibilities. The Village of Clearwater is accepting applications for summer help. Must be at least 16 years old to apply. Seniors last to lunch for pictures. Landon, Adrian, Jaquan, and Matthew. The daily quote, perfection is attended by slow degrees. It requires the hand of time.
Elementary news, this week was Read Across America Week. Today's theme is redfish, bluefish, wear red or blue. Miles Smiles is to be held Wednesday, March 5th. Parents can use this online consent form in the announcements. And a friendly reminder for any after-school events, read through Summerlin Bobcat Spectre responsibilities, and there's nothing in the announcements right now for live streams.
Starting with today, March 3rd, Girls State continues with it continuing to Saturday. Skipping ahead to Tuesday, March 7th, we have Speech Parents Night, and Wednesday, March 8th, we have District Speech at Plainview. And for Tuesday, March 9th, we have Boys State basketball starting with a 1:30 early dismissal. Boys State continuing till Saturday. On Friday, we are going to be having no school. And on Monday, March 13th, Close-Up is beginning. NBC Quiz Bowl is going to be at Elgin Public with the junior high track starting. And the National Honor Society induction ceremony that night as well. For Tuesday, March 14th, we have the school board meeting at 6:30. Wednesday, March 15th, Miles of Smiles. Thursday, March 16th, the Lucky to Have You dance for pre-K to 6th grade. And for Friday, March 17th, we have state speech at Kearney. And for Saturday, March 18th, Class C All-State Band is going to be at Kearney with the junior high dance from 6 to 9.
That'll do it for today's Bobcast. Make sure to stay tuned for Owen's podcast and Barrett's sports segment with guest Levi, Season 2, Episode 16.
Hello, Summerlin. I'm Barrett with the Summerlin Bobcast sports segment, and this week we got another 4-segment show lined up for you with weekly review, watching you, top 10, and game time. So we're going to get right into our first one, which is weekly review. So our first segment is weekly review, and of course last week I had on Christian Bank and Dylan Barlow, and we made picks in the NBA and college basketball, so we'll go through these right now. Raptors ended up beating the Pistons 95-91. The Hornets beat the Heat 108, 103, but LaMelo is injured. He's out for the season now is what they announced, so that kind of sucks for Hornets fans. Pacers beat the Magic 121, 108. The Knicks beat the Pelicans 128, 106. Grizzlies beat the Nuggets 112, 94. The Celtics beat the Sixers 110, 107. Jazz beat the Spurs 118, 102. Golden State, they hang on and they beat the Timberwolves 109, 104. Very good game. I watched it, of course. Bucks beat the Suns 104, 101. That was another good game if you watched that one. Hawks beat the Nets 129, 127. The Lakers came back from a big deficit. I think it was like 27. And beat the Mavs 111, 108. But for Lakers fans, LeBron injured his ankle. He's in a boot now all of a sudden. So they won that game, but they lost LeBron. What's good, what's bad? I don't know for Lakers fans. Cavs beat the Raptors 118-93, and Nuggets beat the Clippers 134-124. It was a very widespread range of records, you could say. Christian went 6-7. Dylan went 9-4. I went 8-5. So kind of all over the place, but that's what happens when you get more than two people on. College basketball. Villanova, you could say upsets. Number 18, Creighton, I wouldn't really necessarily call it an upset, but you could say that. 79-67 was the score in that one. Number 22, TCU beat Texas Tech 83-82. Clemson demolishes number 23, NC State. Wasn't close. Just wasn't that good of a game at all. 96-71. Number 9, Baylor. They end up knocking off number 6, Texas, 81-72. Number 5, Kansas hangs on to beat West Virginia, 76-74. They were down in that game. They went up, back and forth. Kansas ended up beating them. Carolina gets the upset against number 7, Virginia, 71-63. As a Duke fan, you hate to see it, but they battled. Whatever. They got to keep their March Madness hopes alive somehow. They're probably going to have to win the ACC tournament to even have a chance. We'll see for Carolina fans. Duke beating Virginia Tech 81-65, and then we won last night against NC State, and an undefeated season at home. So that was pretty good for Duke. Number 14, Indiana upsets number 3, Purdue 79-71. Number 13, Gonzaga beat number 17, St. Mary's 77-68. And number 4, UCLA beat Colorado 60-56. Pretty even here. Christian and Dylan both went 5-5, and I went 4-6. So I did worse than both of them. But the main one that they beat me on was the Carolina game. Of course, I didn't pick Carolina, and they did. So whatever. If I lose picking against Carolina, that's whatever. So our next segment is going to be Watching You. So this is Watching You, and of course, this one, as you can see, is about Damian Lillard. He had to, go drop 71 on the Rockets. Not the only person to do that this season, though. Donovan Mitchell did as well. And I saw kind of a cool thing on Instagram. Donovan Mitchell said that his mom texted him right after Damian Lillard's 71. He was like, Dame just dropped 71. Now you got to drop 72 to break his record. So those two kind of a friendly relationship. But Damian Lillard, 71 against the Rockets. It was a 131-114 win. So they kind of needed all of it from Dame. He hit 13 threes. I believe he shot 21 or 22. He shot like 17 or 18 three-pointers. He shot 22 field goals, 71 points. He had like 8 assists still, which is pretty good for having 71. He had 41 at halftime. He was hitting logo shots, just, logo Lillard. He's really that good. So, excellent performance by Dame, second best point guard in the league right now, of course, behind my guy Steph. So, we'll see what he does the rest of the season. Dame, he won the three-point contest earlier this season, so, he's trying to keep the Blazers' hopes alive for playoffs. He doesn't really have much help anyways, so I don't know if they'll make it, but congrats to Dame on dropping 71. He's like the, 7th highest, 6th highest, something like that now, scorer in league history, so he's up there in elite company. Kobe 81, Wilt 100, Devin Booker's up there, so, games like that put him in the history books. He's already a great point guard, and 71 now is, puts him even higher up there. So this has been Watching You, and we're going to move on to our third segment of the day, which is Top 10. So this is Top 10, and we haven't done a Top 10 segment in a while, so I kind of had to think, what do I want to do for bringing Top 10 back? So I thought, what better? It's NBA season. We're going to do my Top 10 most hated players in the league right now. This is my opinion, of course. Everybody's will be different. And this is based off of just watching A little bit of like, there's going to be some on here that everybody hates, but, you'll see. So, number 10, I don't really hate this guy. I hate when Golden State plays against him. It's Jokic, Nikola Jokic with the Nuggets. The way he's so good, and that's the thing. I actually like him. He's really good, but he's on the list because when he goes against Golden State, we can't guard him. He just posts up, does a little turn thing. He hits like 40 and 15 rebounds and whatever. So that's why he's on there. I like Jokic, but not when he plays Golden State. LaMelo Ball is at number 9, and I just don't like him. I mean, he's also out for the season now, which kind of sucks. He's fun to watch, but some of the things he just does just kind of annoys me. So that's why he's on this list. Number 8, Kyrie Irving, another guy that I've had a lot of history with being a Golden State fan when he's with the Cavs. He hit that shot. We all know that. And just the way he acts on and off the court, kind of a little bit of a baby. Doesn't really, he doesn't play unless he has things perfect for him. Getting a trade to the Mavs now, after getting traded into the Nets, that was supposed to be perfect for him, so that wasn't. He got moved again. Obviously, he's a good player, but kind of just annoying most of the time. Number 7 falls perfectly under that list, too. James Harden. They were teammates, crybaby, step back in Houston. That was really annoying. Western Conference Finals in like 2016 and 17 against Golden State. These are just reasons. A lot of these are going to be reasons I hate them because they went against Golden State and did really good. So I just kind of have a thing for them, but not a good thing. And that's kind of James Harden. He's also kind of just an annoying guy too. Sitting out in Brooklyn, going to Philadelphia, still just being stepped back. He's definitely improved more. But back in Houston and in Brooklyn, that was prime James Harden. That's prime James Harden that I don't like. Number 6, I feel he could be a lot higher for me, but he's at number 6. It's Marcus Smart. He flops all the time. He's a very aggressive defender, overly aggressive a lot. With the Celtics, Golden State just played them in the NBA championship last season. He's a really good player too defensively. Not a great scorer, but very aggressive, over-aggressive, you could say. Almost like a Draymond Green, but, he's a guard and he's not on the Warriors, so I don't hate him. But, yeah, so Marcus Smart, he's at 6. Could be higher, but he's at 6. Number 5 for me is Patrick Beverley. This guy is probably on most people's lists. Kind of just almost like Marcus Smart, just a little worse. That's why he's higher on the list. He's just like super annoying. He thinks he's really good. So yeah, that's basically why he's at 5. Those are pretty much the only 2 reasons. Number 4, Joel Embiid, just like Jokic, except Embiid I actually just don't like. He does the same things as Jokic, but he complains about so much. Good player, obviously, but just another one that's kind of iffy for me. Hate going against him because he's huge and he's going to probably drop 30 and 12 and 4 blocks. So, yeah, Joel, just another one of those guys that I don't really have a thing for. Number 3 is PJ Tucker. I just don't overall like PJ Tucker. He shoots threes and he plays defense, but he's super old now and he should just retire, but he doesn't, and he just keeps playing and keeps playing defense aggressively and being really annoying and just like a pest. Don't like him. Number 2. A lot of people are not going to agree with this, but it's Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks is so annoying. Golden State plays Memphis. He is literally the number 1 player that I wish he would just set the bench the entire game. He's not a scorer, but when he scores, he thinks he's so good. He'll mouth off to people on the court. And just, on defense, he does the same thing. He's talking smack on and off the court. And that whole entire Memphis team is kind of that same way. But Dillon Brooks is definitely the leader of that. I really hate Dillon Brooks. This is why I made the list, was specifically for Dillon Brooks. But he's not number 1, you might say. Well, that's because number 1 is LeBron James. Of course he is. Some people say he's the GOAT. Well, he's the GOAT of my most hated NBA players list. He's number 1 for a reason. Crybaby a lot of times. Sometimes it's deserving. Like you saw him overreact about the Celtics call when Tatum slapped his arm on the game-winning layup. yeah, that's deserving. But there's a lot of times he is. Obviously, the rivalry Golden State had with him in Cleveland. So it's kind of just a lot of things built together. And then the amount of hype that he gets and people that love him and say he's the GOAT just makes me hate him more. His stock goes down for me. So that's why he's number 1 on my list. So this has been my top 10 most hated NBA players. Current NBA players, I should have added. So yes, we're going to move on to our final segment of the day, which is Game Time. Welcome to Game Time this week. We got Levi Kronk on. Make some NBA and college basketball picks. We're going to start in the NBA. Raptors playing the Wizards.
I don't know. I think I gotta go Raptors with this one. Wizards,
Yeah.
kind of having a down year.
Yeah, it's a good pick. The Wizards, I mean, they kind of have Bradley Beal, but he's been injured.
Yeah.
So give me the Raptors. Pistons playing the Cavs.
Pistons, great young team, but I've got to go with Cavs. Donovan Mitchell,
Yeah.
Darius Garland,
Forgot about him, actually. Evan Mobley. Jared Allen. Yeah.
That's just a good group, good young group.
Yeah, and they're at home. I think they win that one. Pistons, Cade Cunningham, they're not going to be able to handle it. Hawks playing the Heat.
Trae Young's been on a little bit of a tear lately.
He had a buzzer beater the other night.
Honestly, he's been playing some pretty good ball. But I feel like you throw somebody like Jimmy Butler on him, he'll be locked down.
Yeah.
I got to go with Heat on this. They just overall are a better team.
Yeah, the big man play for the Heat with Bam. He's played really good. Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero, he's played good. So I think, the Heat at home there should win that one. A little bit of a weird game here. Kind of neither team's good. Rockets playing the Spurs.
The Spurs are tanking for Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, they finally announced that.
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama.
And they're going for the number 1 overall pick. Pops had never had a number one, has he?
No, he has not.
But they've been just a great team whenever they do have a high draft pick in the years following. So that's what they're aiming for. I think they'll just give this one to the Rockets.
Yeah, I mean, the Rockets not much better either, but I mean, I think,
2 top 3 draft pick teams.
Yeah, definitely. Even in the last couple of years, the Rockets, let's see, last year they took...
it was not...
the year before they took Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Last year they took...
they were pick number 2 last
yeah,
year.
they had 2. Wasn't it... no, what was it? What was that guy's name? I can't think of it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but they had the number 2 pick. They took somebody. I actually haven't heard anything from him this year, and I can't remember his name. So, but yeah, the Rockets, young talent. The Spurs kind of just nobody. So
Yeah.
I think the Rockets win that one. Sixers playing the Bucks.
Joel Embiid, kind of like Trae Young's been on a little bit of a tear. He's been playing some good ball. But James Harden hasn't been able to quite back that up as well. I've got to go with the Bucks. Giannis has been unstoppable. Drew Holiday's been playing decent. Chris Middleton's been having some good games here and there.
Yeah.
I've got to go with Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree because the Bucks at home, Giannis when he's been healthy, because he's actually been injured a decent amount this year. But yeah, the Sixers. I mean, Joel has been good. Other than that, though, James Harden's kind of been a letdown for him. Tyrese Maxey's played pretty good, but I mean, other than that, the Sixers not with much. The Bucks a little bit better depth than at home. I think they get that 1-1. Timberwolves playing the Kings.
The Kings, for me, have been the surprise team of the year. They're sitting at the 3rd seed of the West after probably 2/3 of the season gone.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. So for me, they've been the surprise team. De'Aaron Fox has been just phenomenal for them. Definitely their star they want to lock up for many years.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years are left on his contract, but they need to lock him up for a long time. T-Wolves, after making that big trade for Rudy Gobert in the offseason, I don't know. I personally don't know what they were thinking with that.
Didn't really need him.
No. You already got a good defensive center in Cat who can play both ends of the court.
Yeah.
Rudy just kind of, on defense he's great, but on offense he's just kind of a liability. I've got to go with Kings. They're red hot right now.
Yeah, and they got their new thing, the light the beam, where they always do after their win. Timberwolves, bright future. They've got Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert now. But
I said they got rid of D'Angelo Russell, so they're going to have to find themselves another point guard this offseason.
Yeah, but yeah, the Kings at home, they're looking really good. Even a young team, they're going to be good for many years. I think they make Probably not Western Conference Finals, but I think they win their first round, depending on who they get. And
which, looking at it right now, I think it would be the 7th seed. I think it's like not Lakers. Mavs, maybe?
Yeah, it might be the Mavs. Because Golden State just got the 5.
Yep.
The Suns are...
Nuggets are 1. Suns are 4.
1. Grizzlies are 2.
Kings 3. I think Suns are 4.
Yeah, Golden State's 5. The Clippers were... Because really, when you look at it, like the 5 all the way down to the 13 in the West is separated by like 3 games.
It can easily flip.
So, I mean, because, the Lakers are like 13, but if they go like 3 games in a row with a win, they could be all the way up to like 6.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's how close that Western Conference is. Speaking of Western Conference matchup, we got the Warriors and the Lakers. Golden State.
I've got to go. LeBron's out. Anthony Davis he can't pick up that workload.
Yeah.
Like at New Orleans, when he was there, you could expect him to drop a 30-point game, 30, 40-point game, and be just fine. But he hasn't had that level of production with the Lakers because he's relied on LeBron.
Yep.
And with LeBron out, Steph's been doing pretty well this year. Clay.
He's injured, though.
Yeah, Steph's. I always forget that. Clay, he had himself a pretty decent game.
Yeah, he's been on kind of a tear lately. Picking up the slack without Steph there.
Jordan Poole's, he's
kind of playing like Jordan Poole does.
Yeah.
Good night, then a turnover night. And,
I've got to go Warriors without LeBron.
Yeah. Because I was watching that. I believe they were playing the Mavs when he got injured. And I didn't think it was that bad because he kind of just stepped in, but his ankle, like, instead of bending inwards, it bent out weird. And now he's in a boot. So he'll be out for a while, I'd say. But yeah, Golden State. Not because it's my team, but because they're better.
I say.
Suns playing the Mavs. Going to be a very good matchup, especially with Kyrie just now.
Kyrie, he's slowly working his way into that offense.
Yeah.
KD out. I don't think he's made an appearance for the Suns yet.
This actually might be his. I know it's coming up soon. I don't remember if it's this one before or after this game, but it's definitely soon.
They've taken their time with KD, getting him put into the offense.
Yeah.
The Mavs just kind of were like,
They literally threw Kyrie in as soon as he showed up.
Go out there and do something. Mavs are at home in this one, right?
Yep.
They're, 1 for 5 in their past 5 games?
I saw something about that in the clutch games. They're 0 for 4 in those last second games.
CP3, I feel like he's got the matchup over the Mavs point guard. I don't even know who that is.
I
think they got rid of Dorian Finney-Smith.
Luka's probably running the 1.
Luka might be running the 1.
Unless they have Kyrie at the 1, but Kyrie's been playing a lot of 2 this season.
Yeah. I've got to go Suns on the road here.
Yeah, this one's very tough. Both teams are playing excellent this year. Dallas is, probably a 4 or a 6. They're
somewhere in that range.
And like we said, the Suns are somewhere in there too. Going to be really good playoffs this year. But yeah, the Suns, D-Book, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, wherever you look, they've got guys that can score for you. They can defend well. But the only reason I'm going to go Mavs is just because Kyrie is going to have himself a game. It's going to come down to the wire just like every time.
Every time.
But Kyrie's going to have a game all night. Luka's going to hit the shot. They're going to win it because Luka is him. That's my reasoning. Pacers playing the Bulls.
Bulls haven't really made headlines like they were last year at this time.
Yeah.
Last year at this time, they were the talk of the NBA. DeMar DeRozan got resurrected, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I'll let you make your pick on this one.
I'm going to say Bulls at home just because I don't think – because Tyrese Halliburton plays for the Pacers now, and other than that, they really don't have anything. So I think Zach LaVine and Vucevic and DeMar, I think they'll have enough to get over the hump of the Pacers.
Tyrese Halliburton, or however you say his last name, for the Pacers. Great player, but he just – I don't know. I don't think he can outdo the firepower the Bulls have.
Yeah. So next one here is the Hornets playing the Nets. LaMelo just got ruled out for the season. So on that note, I'm going to make a quick one and say Nets.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Malik, no. Who just got traded for KD to the Nets? Cam Johnson.
Yeah, Cam Johnson.
He's been doing good. And something Green.
Yeah, who's the other one? I can't think of it.
Whoever else is a part of that trade for the Nets for KD, they've been doing great. They've put the Nets actually back in the playoff contention.
Yeah.
I've got to go Nets. Like you said, LaMelo out. They really don't have any other people to score.
Mm-hmm.
Bryce McGowan's on there, but he really don't play.
Yeah.
I say just shouting him out. Miles Bridges with his whole offseason controversy hasn't played a single minute. Easy one for me, Nets.
Yeah. Trailblazers playing the Magic.
All I gotta say is Dame Dollar.
Yeah, that's a good point. Trailblazers all the way. He just dropped 71. Yeah, I think Portland wins that
I
one.
think in his past 10 games, he's averaging like 47, something like that.
That's a guy that's been on a tear. No doubt. He's been playing great, and the Magic really with nobody, so I think Portland wins that one. Knicks and the Celtics, that's going to be a rough Eastern Conference matchup. Those two hate each other.
They hate each other, and they're playing for one of the top seeds in the East.
Yeah, because the Knicks all of a sudden are kind of back in that race.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Celtics have like a 3-game lead over the Bucks probably in the second seed.
Second, because I think in the East it goes Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Knicks.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
For the Knicks, Julius Randle's been playing pretty good ball.
He's had a really good season.
Jalen Brunson, who everybody thought was overpaid, has been balling out for the Knicks. But Jason Tatum is all I've got to say. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, I've got to go Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics.
At home, too.
Yeah, at home. If it was in Madison, it might be a little bit different, but they're not in the Garden. And like you said, Jalen Brunson was definitely one of those guys. When they signed that deal, you were like, oh, wow, what are you doing? But Jalen Brunson has played excellent. He's filled the role they needed there. But yeah, the Celtics, Jason Tatum's putting up MVP numbers this year. And at home,
my
Celtics
MVP
winning.
case is between Jokic and Tatum.
Yeah, that's probably, I'd say, what most. Some people would probably throw Giannis in there just because it's Giannis, but I don't think he wins it this year.
I feel like, getting off track, I feel like Jokic, he's had a great year. Probably shouldn't have won MVP his first year.
Yeah.
Even as a Nuggets fan, people had better numbers, and I feel like he won't get his third this year.
Yeah,
I just feel like voter fatigue is a real deal,
Yeah.
and it just won't happen.
He's playing very good, though.
Great
Jokic
ball.
is playing great.
22 triple doubles this season alone. 100th in his career last night or something
I think
like that.
it was last night.
Yeah.
Speaking of another good player in the West, John Moran and the Grizzlies playing the Clippers. You know, they got a great player too in Russell Westbrook.
For me, I want to see what comes out of the charges John Moran just got.
Yeah.
This is a 6th or 7th person that's come forward talking about him assaulting people when he was playing pickup ball during the summer. Consider the fact that nothing happens about that super quick. I've got to go Grizzlies. They've been playing great ball. They blew out the number 1 seed Nuggets by 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And they've been playing great. That's with John Morant. Without, I'm going Clippers.
Yeah. Because Ja is probably an MVP runner, probably top 5 this year. Next year he'll be up there again. Clippers, they're kind of in a rebuild, but they kind of have star power if they play because Kawhi and PG are rarely out there together. So, I mean, they're right for the future, kind of, but so are the Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies are win-now mode, so they'll win it.
So that would be an interesting thing to watch is what happens with Ja.
Yeah.
I said at first it was only 1 or 2. Now it's getting to 6, 7, 8
it's really building up.
Have.
We're going to move on to college basketball here, and we're starting with number 2 Bama playing number 24 Texas A&M.
If I'm being honest, I really haven't watched much outside of the Big Ten this year. But just going by the rankings here, I've got to go Bama.
Yeah.
Upsets happen all the time, but I feel like Bama's they're solid.
Especially this year in college basketball, there's been countless upsets. But I think Bama on the road even, but I mean, they've got their freshman, Brandon Miller, I believe is his name. He's played excellent, so I think they win that one.
Is that the one that's gotten charges for accomplice with murder?
Ooh. I think it is Brandon Miller. I think so.
That's another whole situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of those going on this year in every sport, but I'm going to take Bama there. Number 11, K-State playing West Virginia. this one I think is easy for me.
Yeah,
K-State.
I've got to go K-State. This is the one team I've actually looked at a little bit outside of. Don't ask me to name anybody on the roster because I've got no idea. I just watched some of their highlights and just a little bit of the games wait for Nebraska to play, and they've been solid this year.
Yeah, they've played pretty good. They knocked off Kansas once, so I think K-State wins that one pretty easily. Number 12, Tennessee and Auburn.
Tennessee's had another great year. They backed up their football season with a great basketball season, so I've still got to go Tennessee on that.
Yeah.
Even in or at Auburn.
Yeah, Tennessee the last couple of years of basketball finally picked it up again. They were higher. They've had some upsets. They've been upset a couple times, so they've kind of held in that 10 to 20 range. But yeah, I think against Auburn, without really anybody, they should win that one. Number 3, Kansas. Number 9, Texas. A big Big 12 matchup.
This is a huge matchup heading into the Big 12 tournament in a week or two. For me, I'm going with the upset here. I'm going number 9, Texas. At home. Kansas, they've had a up and down year to say the least.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, been upset by Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they've had a couple of rough patches. And even though they're highly ranked, this isn't quite the powerhouse team of old Kansas. I've got to go with the upset.
Yeah, I kind of do want to pick Texas because Kansas has lost to like Kansas State this year. They've lost to, I think, Baylor beat them, and I'm pretty sure there was another like lower level Big 12 school that beat them, and they've still hung in the top 5 almost all year. So, I mean, I really want to go Texas just because I like seeing upsets, but I feel like Jalen Wilson for Kansas, their big man. They've got like DeJuan Harris, I think, is their guard's name. So I think Kansas wins it, but it's going to be a really close one. Who is the other team they got beat by? Let's check it.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the season.
Duke.
No, they beat
never
us.
mind.
They beat us. Tennessee beat them.
Yep. Let's see. Almost got beat by Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's had a terrible year this year in terms of their basketball standards. Yeah. Getting beaten out by Nebraska is enough to say that. Tennessee. What else do we have here?
None of those.
Almost got beat by Texas Tech.
K-State and TCU back-to-back. And Baylor, 3 straight. Yeah, there was the 3 straight mark.
Let's see. Then they turned around and beat K-State by 12.
Yeah.
Almost lost to Texas earlier in the year.
Beat them by 8.
And so it'll be a good matchup from what I'm gathering. And with the roles reversed, how the arenas flipped.
Yeah.
I still feel like Texas will pull this one out.
It's going to be a great game.
Almost lost to West Virginia, who I'm pretty sure is not a top team.
Yeah, they came back to beat West Virginia. They were down like 15.
West Virginia is one of the bottom teams in the Big 12.
So Kansas up and down this year, but I'm going to pick Kansas. You never know. Number 25, Pitt, playing number 16, Miami. 2 ACC teams that are at the top, but they're not really ACC standards this year.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, ACC standards are typically your top 10 teams.
Yeah.
Your ones that are going to contend for a national championship, which not saying they can't.
Yeah.
But I'm going 16 Miami at home.
Yeah, I think that is the correct pick. ACC this year has been, and really college basketball as a whole has been so weird, but the ACC in particular is really, the rankings mean nothing, but Miami at home, I think they'll be able to pull that one out. They've got better guard play, they've got better depth, and they've got veteran leadership, so I think at home they win that one. Number 8, Arizona. Number 4, UCLA.
This is a huge game in many ways.
Yeah.
Not only going into the Pac-10, Pac-12 tournament, but also March Madness in general.
Yeah.
This will determine a lot of seedings heading forward. I'm going with the home team here. Give me number 4, UCLA.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do as well. They got Johnny Juzang still playing there. Arizona's had a great year, but see, the thing that's so big about this game, UCLA wins, they're probably still a 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona wins, they're possibly a 1 seed. UCLA down to a 2, maybe a 3.
Yeah.
UCLA wins, Arizona probably falls to a 3 seed.
Yeah.
So huge implications in March. Obviously, still conference tournaments to play, but I think UCLA wins it and solidifies their spot as a 1 seed.
I would agree with that.
23, Kentucky and Arkansas. Don't really know much about either team, to be honest.
I'm making my pick solely off of rankings here, so I'm going 23 Kentucky.
I'm going to do the exact same thing. I haven't really heard much from either team this year, but Kentucky, usually a good team, and they've kind of been meh this season.
Yeah,
so
let's see, what that'd be?
SEC.
SEC, I'm on the wrong
Yeah.
side.
But I'm going to take Kentucky there.
Yeah.
Obviously, coaching is a big thing, and they're on the road, but I think they've got enough leadership there that Kentucky will probably win
Let's
that
see,
one. Kentucky's top. They're like 3. And Arkansas is not
middle of the road.
Yeah.
Which is still a 19-11 overall record.
Yeah.
So
it's really just their conference record that's holding them back. Kentucky's 20-9 on the season, though.
Yeah.
Number 1, Houston and Memphis. This is going to be a very quick pick for me. 2 words. Number 1, Houston.
Yep.
That's 3 words.
I can't go against that pick, so I'm going with Houston.
Yeah. Memphis, not much this year.
No.
So, yeah, Houston should win it.
Was it last year they had, Memphis had, 3 number 1 or 5-star recruits or something like that?
Yeah, they had Monty Bates last year, and they left, and other guys, too. I don't even remember, to be honest. Jalen Duran, I think, was there last year, so. Yeah. But they're all gone. Illinois, number 5, Purdue.
Purdue coming off a huge loss to Indiana. And I mean just absolutely massive loss. In my opinion, Purdue, they've been higher ranked all year, but they haven't had that stellar of a year in my opinion.
Yeah.
They almost lost to Nebraska early in the year, only winning by 2 in overtime. Then they got swept by Indiana, beat by Maryland.
And yet they're still top 5 after all of this. I mean, that shows really how much that the rankings guys still believe in Purdue, even though they have not been overly great this season.
No. They really normally when you watch a good basketball team, you sit there and go, "Wow, these guys are gonna win, and they're gonna make it easy." I've never really had that feeling watching Purdue. I just felt like they've been having a good year and a down year for the Big Ten.
That's very true. That's a great way to describe it.
Illinois, they haven't had that great of a season either. Still a winning team, still going to probably be a bubble team for the March Madness. If they don't make March Madness, NIT.
Yeah.
But I've still got to go with number 5, Purdue.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll avenge their loss.
They're at home. Zach Edey, he's going to do all he can.
Yep.
So, I mean, Purdue should win it. They've had an up-and-down year, to say the least. I mean,
senior night for them.
Yeah, that's true.
That
senior
always
night.
brings in emotions.
Yeah.
As people probably saw last night with Nebraska, Michigan State, that first half.
Yeah. Illinois, kind of the team that you don't hear about much, and then they always end up being there at the end. So, But, I mean, Purdue, they are going to overmatch them, and at home, I think they win it.
Yeah.
Best game of the weekend. Last pick we have, Duke, Carolina. We all know what happened in the first matchup.
This is huge family implications and bragging rights for you.
Yeah.
For you with Duke, Coach Kotzer with North Carolina.
Yeah.
I said this is bragging rights for your family, so I'll make you get the first pick.
I already know.
I already know who you're going with.
You can say senior night. You can talk about Baycott and Caleb Love and what they did last time to Coach K. I don't care. Duke by 30.
Just because I'm going Duke too.
Yeah.
Just because.
Somebody finally picks Duke with me. It's great. It's a great day. We love it. Levi, thank you for coming on today. And thank you guys for tuning in to today's Summerlin Bobcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Summerlin Bobcats. My name is Owen Jeffords and I'm back at it with the news today. Today, I'm just going to be talking about one big topic, and that is Biden went to Ukraine, the capital of Ukraine named Kyiv, and gave a speech over the current state of things. So, on CNN, they say President Joe Biden vowed in a fiery speech Tuesday to continue supporting Ukraine as it enters its second year of war, repeatedly denouncing Russian President Vladimir Putin and promising the United States would not waver even as the conflict enters a new, more uncertain phase. In his second major address in less than a year from the same Polish castle, Biden said before a large, energetic crowd that Western resolve was stiffening in the face of Putin's assault on democracy. He used his trip to the Ukraine capital a day earlier as evidence that the democracies of the world are growing stronger in the face of autocracy, repeatedly noting Kiev remained in Ukrainian hands despite the early expectations inside the Kremlin. 1 year ago, the world was bracing for the fall of Kiev. Well, I've just come from a visit to Kiev, and I can report Kiev stands strong. Kiev stands proud. Stands tall and most important, it stands free, Biden said to a crowd. Many waving American flags cheered underneath cold rain. In remarkably pointed terms, Biden accused Putin of atrocities and said his attempt to subjugate a sovereign nation would succeed. President Putin's craven lust for land and power will fall, he said, one of the 10 separate times he singled out the Russian leader by name in his address. By contrast, Putin didn't name Biden once in a lengthy and belligerent address from Moscow earlier in the day. In other ways as well, the two presidents' speeches could not have been more different. Biden's was introduced to a driving electronic pop anthem. Meanwhile, in Moscow, some members of Putin's audience appeared to fall asleep during 1 hour and 45-minute speech. So that's all for today about the speech in Kiev. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.